Hello everybody, GrimmChorizo here, and you are watching the very first episode of Wrestling Roundup, the new show where I recap all the highlights of this week in WWE, give you some news, and even touch on some rumors. So last Monday we got some big news. The show started off with Triple H the Game, if you can even call him that. I call him the Lame. He calls himself the Cerebral Assassin. I think they should stop at the Cerebral Ass. Anyways, he goes out there and he adds a new stipulation to the match at WrestleMania. You see, last week he said that if Daniel Bryan beats him, he'll be added to the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight title. Well, now if Triple H wins, he gets added to the WWE World Heavyweight title match. So regardless, we've got a triple threat match. But that's not all Triple H did. At the end of the show, he calls out Daniel Bryan and he's like, I respect you. Turns out it was all a setup. He has fake police officers go down there, beat the hell out of Daniel Bryan, and then for like 10 minutes, he gives him an Attitude Era-esque beatdown. It was pretty sick. He's even like drowning him in some water. He hits him right in the head with a steel chair, and Stephanie McMahon's like getting off on the whole thing. She's like, drown him! Tear his head off! It was pretty messed up. But a big ending to Raw nonetheless. So last Monday was St. Patrick's Day, and I'll just say this. If you thought that you'd get away without seeing Sheamus and Hornswoggle, well then I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Because we got Sheamus. He faced Titus O'Neil, and Hornswoggle was in his corner. So, yeah. It was the best technical match of the year. No. Speaking of the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus, he appeared on this week's episode of NXT fighting in the main event against the Artiste, Aiden English, where he got the win after a brogue kick, and we even got to hear Sheamus sing. He's pretty good. Pretty good. Also on NXT, if you haven't been watching, there's this new guy. His name's Adam Rose. He used to be Leo Kruger, but now he's Adam Rose. And he's basically this kind of like party, I guess, playboy, like Russell Brand type character. And he's kind of growing on me. He goes out there with like a party group. They're dressed up in these weird outfits. I don't know, I guess it's like a club thing, but the crowd loves it. So for the past few weeks, the Real Americans, that's Cesaro and Jack Swagger, have been kind of fighting back and forth. But this week, they actually seem to coexist pretty well. It looks like they're sticking together because they are one of the #1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team titles, along with Rybaxel. So we could be seeing a triple threat tag team match for the WWE Tag Team Championship between the Real Americans, the current champions, the Usos, and Rybaxel. So it looks like the Real Americans are going to stick together after all, which is probably good because I really like their theme song. This was a huge week. We had not one, not three, but two returns to ring action this week. On Monday, we saw Naomi return, sporting a pretty badass eye patch. I think she should just go full-on pirate gimmick, drop the dancer thing. And then the next night on Main Event, we saw Layla return, which was pretty awesome. Speaking of Main Event, The Undertaker himself made a rare appearance on Main Event this week. So I guess Main Event's getting a pretty big push with this whole WWE Network thing. Makes sense. But The Undertaker goes out there and he confronts Paul Heyman, basically sending a message to Brock Lesnar. And if I quote, The Undertaker said something along the lines of he will take Brock Lesnar's rotting corpse and throw it into the depths of eternal hell. That is badass. So yeah, another interesting thing is I think that the Shield are now faces as opposed to heels, which is fairly interesting. I never thought I would see that happen, but they turned on Kane, and they've been feuding with Kane for a while, but they finally just attacked Kane, so I think they are faces, and after what happened on SmackDown, it really looks like it. So if you've been watching, you would know that John Cena and Bray Wyatt have been fueling their feud for WrestleMania. Well, this week on Raw, John Cena went out there and said he is afraid of Bray Wyatt. Yes, I didn't stutter. He said he's afraid. The superhero, the face of the company, John Cena, said he's afraid of something. But he's John Cena! He's afraid of nothing! Bray Wyatt may just be the kryptonite to the Superman John Cena. And also, Bray Wyatt cut another epic promo, as he always does, but this time, he made note to make fun of John Cena's girlfriend, Nikki Bella, by calling her plastic. Yeah! It was announced this week that Mr. T would be joining the Hall of Fame. which I'm actually pretty cool with. He wrestled in the first WrestleMania. He actually wrestled. He made WrestleMania a big staple, so I'm all for him being inducted. But I pity the fool who doesn't agree with that. Total Divas is back. Yeah, I'm not that excited either. Last Sunday, the man they call CM Punk made a rare appearance on The Talking Dead as a new character he calls Phil Brooks. At this point, it appears that there are only 12 spots left to fill for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This week, WWE's Scooby-Doo movie comes out. Yeah! Gotta love those straight to DVDs. It was announced that the WrestleMania 30 pre-show, available on the WWE Network, will not be 30 minutes, it will not be an hour, it will be 2 hours. I'm alright with just staring at Renee Young and listening to her talk for 2 hours. I can live with that. If you have an Xbox 360, it's probably been hell working with the WWE Network, as there have been issues in a number of categories. Apparently, there has been fixes, so now Xbox users can search for WCW and ECW pay-per-views, which it could not before. Alright everybody, it's time to check out the rumor mill. Word has it that the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal could become an annual thing because it was said that the winner will carry the statue for a year, which could lead to another one at WrestleMania 31 and so on and so on. Rumor has it that John Cena has been casted in Judd Apatow's new film, Trainwreck. I know nothing about the movie, but Amy Schumer's in it. The rumor that's been going around is that Rey Mysterio might not be signing a new contract and plans to retire soon. Apparently that rumor's been shot down with another rumor that he has signed a new contract with the WWE. With the Shield now turned face, it's obvious that there will be some form of match against them and Kane at WrestleMania. A few rumored possibilities that have gone around are calling up the current NXT Tag Team Champions The Ascension to team with Kane, so it would be the Shield versus The Ascension and Kane in a 6-man tag. The other possibility, which seems to be more likely for the time being, is Kane and the New Age Outlaws versus the Shield. I personally would rather see The Ascension, but probably isn't going to happen now. So there you have it. Thanks everybody for watching the very first episode of Wrestling Roundup. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you will tune in for future weeks. I'm GrimmChorizo, and remember to follow the buzzards!